What the fuck did we just see? Well, obviously I know what we saw. We saw Sausage Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, haha, funny title.
One of the few animated adult comedies in a long time.
I can't even think about... Ugh. The only one I can possibly think of... Well, off the top of my head, obviously, is the South Park movie.
Yeah.
But then, other than that, there's not that many. Unless you count puppets as animated. But then again, you don't really see puppet movies at all, because they also did Team America.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, they're a rarity.
Hardly ever see them.
Yeah, that's why this kind of interested me. When I say I want more adult animated movies, though, I'm hoping that it doesn't mean it all has to be adult comedies, per se. It could also be, adult epics, adventures, something along the lines of Lord of the Rings, but in animated form. Nowadays, everything's got to be as, child-friendly, as digestible, as stupid simple as it can possibly be. Not that we don't get good animated movies, I'm not trying to say that. I mean, I rented Zootopia recently, loved that. Inside Out was good.
Oh, loved Inside Out. I haven't seen Zootopia, although with you saying you loved it, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. So, and then there's this. So this kind of in the category of animated movies. I wouldn't say it's the best one I've seen this year. In the category of adult comedies, or even just like, I guess, most of the comedies we've seen in general, this one I would say is the best one by default. But
best one by far.
Yeah. But as a whole, it's, I don't know, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle with it. Not, I didn't dislike it. I didn't love it either. It's just kind of balances out to being a decent adult comedy. I can tell you're probably upset you loved this movie.
Only because of how psychotic and just batshit crazy it was.
There are some amazing things in this movie. I'm not gonna deny that. The trailer itself, the trailer itself actually did catch my attention a lot because that was a really good fake out. It shows how crap modern animation is when you can believe, oh, we're gonna do a big budgeted version. Well, I guess Food Fight did have a big budget, but
$65 million.
Yep, but we're going to do a professionally animated version of Food Fight, essentially.
This is just a good version of Food Fight.
Well, I wouldn't. Okay. Yeah, I guess compared to Food Fight, this thing is brilliant. But what I was trying to say was that the fake out in the trailer and how it kind of throws you for a loop, and it's actually genuinely shocking the first time. They do something like that in this movie as well. I would not dare spoil what it is, but they do it twice actually, and it is pretty.
We'll get into that later. But with you being on the fence, is that because of the Seth Rogen style of comedy, or is it just like the in general execution that they did?
Well, okay, I'll say generally what's good about this compared to all the other comedies is that, one, it's got an actual story to it, a story with peaks and troughs and arcs and characters and different layers and stuff. It's not It's not like Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, where it's almost like a series of vignettes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, this one actually, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. They go places. They do things. Characters. Characters feel like actual characters of people. They think and feel and are not just like straight stereotypes. I was afraid that the main character, Frank, played by Seth Rogen, was going to make a bunch of penis innuendos throughout the whole movie.
Luckily, they only saved one innuendo throughout the entire thing. Him and his girlfriend, Brenda, being a weenie in a bun.
Yeah, which at the start of this movie, that's mostly what their dialogue consists of.
Pretty much. That
is penis and ass innuendos, and of course it doesn't help that her mouth...
More vagina, not ass.
Her mouth looks like a vagina, so... That got old really quick, and I was almost ready to give up on this movie immediately, but it did get better. When they stopped doing that, and when the plot actually got rolling, and there was conflict, there was stuff started to happen. I thought, okay, I can go with this. It held my attention enough. The only times that it broke away, the things I don't like about this movie, where it takes me out, is when it just kind of devolves into very, if Seth Rogen, if this is Seth Rogen, very juvenile type humor, where it's fuck, shit ass, fucking fucker, fuck, sex. And you guys know, I'm not against any of that. It's when your whole movie, or when your dialogue is just consists of that just goes on and on. It's like, I think I said this in the Trainwreck review, but it's the equivalent of a shitty kids comedy, a shitty kids animated comedy that does nothing but fart jokes and puns and maybe a little bit of slapstick. It's like that's all you do. It's pretty lazy comedy. You've got a whole wide range of things you can do, but everything has to relate back to that stuff because you think your audiences have tiny brains and can only process that. However, they don't do that all throughout the... Well, I guess actually they do it all throughout the movie, but they break away from it enough to keep me invested. So I guess this movie's kind of a roller coaster of emotions.
Yes, no.
Yeah, there's for every joke that just kind of has me rolling my eyes, like, oh, I get it, sex. There's another joke that's like, oh, okay, that was kind of funny. The worst thing in this movie, in my opinion, is this one running gag with this character called the douche. He is a douche, a literal douche.
Particularly trying to embody a Jersey Shore douche, like the bro, yo, I'm getting jacked up, motherfucker. He talks like this the whole time, which makes sense because he's voiced by Nick Kroll, who, almost his entire career is trying to overdo stereotypes, and probably the douche stereotype is maybe his best. He has a TV show on Comedy Central that I have not seen, but from the other stuff that I've seen him in, he's actually pretty funny. But
his running gag joke is that he'll say a common phrase that involves food, and then the food will turn and go, what? And they'll be like,
get the fuck out of here.
Like, not you. Something like, how do you like them apples? The apples will be like, what?
I thought those were actually, I thought those were funny enough.
They were funny. It was funny the first time. The very first time he did it, I actually kind of laughed. It's like, okay, good one. But they do it so many times. They wear it out by the end, and it doesn't help when even they point out how how worn out it is, because it's like he finds the characters again and he says queso, and then the queso comes out and he's like, oh come on, even you gotta say that's stretching it. So there are a lot of good jokes in this thing. I did actually laugh. Most of them pertain to that really amazing shock moments that happen towards the end.
Yes.
I can't say what it is because I wouldn't dare spoil it for people. I think
we're talking about it later.
The second half of this movie, I think, is almost worth the price. Even for me. I'm glad I saw it. There's other things I wish I didn't see. Not just bad jokes, but I mean some stuff that is genuinely disturbing.
But at least it goes turn the amp to 11. That amount of just excess and craziness.
Yeah.
And that's mainly what I liked about this. And this is his first movie ever seeing Seth Rogen. Well, not first ever, just one of the...
Nope.
The only other Seth Rogen knowledge he has before this is Green Hornet.
And Kung Fu Panda.
Well, Kung Fu Panda doesn't necessarily count because it's not his, it's Jack Black's.
Okay.
But I'm
Can't
much
hate
more...
Green Hornet.
Don't base his work on one movie. But I actually consider myself a Seth Rogen connoisseur. Yeah, I actually do really like Seth Rogen.
Well, I'll say it when you're done.
Okay.
But you bring up something.
Yeah, Seth Rogen, I actually do really like his work. I love This Is the End. I love all of his, like, supporting. And personally, I think he's much, much stronger as a writer. He has written a lot of, like, his base works. He wrote Superbad. He wrote and directed This Is the End. I didn't like Neighbors. That's the only one of his that I didn't like because I think he sort of, like, him vilifying himself and Rose Byrne didn't really work, and it just made Zac Efron and them look better. But I do like Rogen's work. Some people complain about his acting. It's just he's playing the exact same character in a different t-shirt. But honestly, I think that might be sort of a strength of his because he at least owns it and knows how he can be able to work himself into these different stories. But again, I think he works a lot better as a writer and as a story planner because this story was made by him, Jonah Hill, and his usual collaborator Evan Goldberg, he also wrote Superbad with. But the thing about his comedy is they really like to take these inventive scenarios and funny ideas, and granted they actually do execute them, but in some weird fashion where they do try and be obvious but also subtle. Like, yeah, what he said is true about them being juvenile. They do really love to be as juvenile as possible, but also with some form of thought. Like, yeah,
there is thought put into some areas of this movie, which is what I can appreciate. One thing which kind of impresses me about this movie, this thing handles stereotypes fairly well.
This it does. The main story is that Frank and Brenda are trying to parody Saving Private Ryan. They get knocked off of the cart that they get chosen into at the beginning of the movie, and you see it in the trailer, and they go try and find their original aisle.
Yeah.
They also meet up with a Jewish bagel named Sammy Bagel Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And what the fuck was that? Was that like
It's a pita.
A pita, okay.
Or
I couldn't figure out what it was.
It's either a pita or a flatbread of some kind.
Well, a pita flatbread.
I thought it was a pita because he says, "Oh, I love hummus," because that's what you put on. That's
Yep. Okay, so yeah, they made up with a Jewish bagel and a
played by Edward Norton.
I had no idea that was him.
I didn't know either.
But they directly said it at the end.
Oh, don't you dare spoil that.
Okay. All right. But yeah, they meet up with a Jewish bagel and a Palestinian or Muslim a Muslim pita, and they all try and find their way back to their shelves. While also coming across a taco voiced by Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
And
lesbian.
Well,
she's not subtle about it.
A curious lesbian.
Yeah.
But and yeah, it's just a race to get back to their aisles and find out the truth.
Yeah.
And there they come across the booze section.
Admittedly, you can kind of figure out like the whole idea from the trailer.
Yeah.
It's like, food discovers is it the inconvenient truth or the how would you say it? I don't know. They discover that people eat food.
Yeah, they discover the truth of the great beyond.
Yeah. Which
it's just outside of the supermarket.
Yeah. So, man, We're kind of going all over the place. But
yes, we are. But this movie is all over the place.
This movie is all over the place.
Oh, this movie is psychotic.
When it parodies the Saving Private Ryan bits of like can with his like noodles as intestines spilled out,
can of mushroom soup, peanut butter and jelly. The jelly jar breaks, and
peanut butter is like.
And then a banana's face comes off with the peel.
Yeah, or the Oreo picking up the back of him and turning it around. It's supposed to be like
the guy picking up his arm.
Yeah. That's when the movie got going for me. That's when the movie I think got started. And
yeah, that happened for me too. And you know me, I'm usually more like tolerable of juvenile stuff.
Yeah,
not necessarily.
When this movie is trying to handle comedy that's not juvenile
or not too obvious. There is a little bit of obviousness in this, but it doesn't go too far, unlike fucking How to Be Single and Pitch Perfect and all that shit.
Yeah. So that's when the movie, and when it wants to be fun, it is fun. And when it wants to, actually as the plot is moving, you actually do really want to see where it goes.
Yeah, it does provide a lot of investment.
Yeah, which is more than I could say for most comedies, where I'm just kind of begging for it to end. This one, I like these characters for the most part.
Frank is actually a pretty funny guy. Well, yeah, they're inanimate objects, but yeah, you know which gender they are.
He's pretty straight man in this. He's not like too far one way or another. Michael Cera, his character is actually really good. I like him.
It's the nugget little sausage that's deformed or whatever.
Yeah.
He was actually a fun character too, even though I have my complaints about Michael Cera.
You guys know me, I love Michael Cera.
Only because of fucking Scott Pilgrim.
Well, other things too. Arrested Development.
Okay, Arrested Development, yes. Kristen Wiig is in this. She's better in this than Ghostbusters.
Which is pretty sad.
That is when your role is better in an animated movie than
an animated movie where she plays a bun.
She does play a bun, but even though that seems just like a straightforward character, she is actually very likable. Yeah. She's likable in her innocence. She's likable in... Well, then again, me not having much backing. But yeah, she is actually fun to have as a sidekick.
Yeah. They're really... noticing now, there really aren't any truly annoying characters in this besides douche, but everyone's gonna say he's supposed to be annoying.
But that's what I was telling you during this. He's supposed to be annoying because he is a douche, even though he is a douche.
But
that was a little too obvious, but I think they rolled with it like actually pretty okay. And you haven't been around these douches as much as I have, so yeah, that I found kind of relatable. So
okay.
Oh yeah, douches, learn from this guy. Stop being douches. Anyway,
there's also a lot of political satire in this.
They tried to get smart with this.
It's a little too on the nose at times.
You can't say that everybody else is an idiot because they don't believe you.
It tries to go into the religious versus scientific type argument. It goes into, it uses its racial stereotypes to be like, hey, we shouldn't fight. We're all in this together and everything. And it's just, okay, I can applaud them for trying to push this a little bit further, but again, something I'm kind of on the fence about because, like I said, it is very, very on the nose.
And again, I think Rogan and the reason I'm just saying Rogan is because I was telling him this earlier. Rogan has his posse and friends, kind of like Sandler has his posse and friends. But this is a talented posse. It's not fucking Rob Schneider and David Spade and Kevin James.
Yeah.
It's James Franco, Danny McBride, Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, Paul Rudd as well, Craig Robinson, Bill Hader. They're all great. And they actually do have good roles in this, but they all follow the same route of comedy that Rogan pretty much coined in... I don't think Superbad, because that's actually way more subtle than people think it is. But they do try and take the obviousness, and they try and go like so far above 10 that they go back to being subtle with their obviousness. Well, only because they try and provide obviousness with obliviousness. They try and be oblivious to how obvious they are, and that sort of creates their form of comedy. And yeah, again, it works a decent amount of the time, but some of the time it's a little annoying. But and then the rest of the time they're actually pretty good. What are you giggling about? What the fuck is so funny, giggly bits?
I
think I broke him.
Okay, you remember the drug addict guy that takes Barry home with him?
Yep. Okay, so
doesn't he look like if Danny Sexbang let himself go?
Wait, what?
Do you know who Danny Sexbang is?
Danny Sexbang, no.
You don't? Look him up and then tell me if you think he looks just like him, but like fat and
bloated.
Yes.
Okay, Danny Sexbang. If you're watching, look him up and look up pictures of the drug addict.
He's played by James Franco, so
which is so ironic because everybody has this perception that James Franco does drugs. He doesn't. He came publicly in an interview and said he doesn't, even though Rogan can't be more obvious with how much of a pothead he is, which I'm not too much against.
When you said James Franco, I don't know why, but my mind immediately went there. I thought, man, he looks like someone, doesn't he? Oh my God.
Danny.
And see, the thing about Danny Sexbang is that...
Who is he?
He's the guy who sings in Ninja Sex Party. He's also the co-host of the Let's Play show called Game Grumps. But see, the thing is that he's a womanizer. He is like model quality sexy. That's his name, Danny Sexbang. So I just kind of see a little bit of the irony of the fact that he looks so hideous in this movie.
Danny Sexbang if he smoked bath salts.
Yeah.
Oh, not smoked, if he did bath salts. Oh yeah, that's how the food wins in this movie. Drugs. Okay.
Man, you gotta stay away from the climax, man. It is too good to spoil.
No, but I'll get it. Okay, so when I saw the trailer for this, I thought this was going to be stupid because of the food coming to life and the people not recognizing it. The direction actually gets smart in this by doing this. They change the color tint whenever the food is inanimate, and like it's duller when it's inanimate, but when it's animate, it actually there's a higher tint and it's brighter.
Yeah,
and that can actually. Yeah, and another way that we can tell when the food is, or humans can tell when the food is alive, drugs.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, there's a portion in this, and it does show it in the trailer where the guy's like, "What? You're talking?" It's because that guy buys bath salts and shoots them up, and oh, I can see stuff. Oh my God, I can see the food.
Yeah. And then all the food realizes this, and they're all like, "Yeah, man, you're an asshole." It's like, "Oh, pizza, what are you doing?" It's like, "I ain't got no legs, 'cause you ate them." And then the toilet paper comes out. "What did he do to you?"
You don't wanna fucking know.
And a good bit of visual flair to it is you see like a toilet paper roll
with its arms and legs dangling
in the background. That's pretty good.
Again, there is smart stuff with the obviousness.
Yeah.
Oblivious to the obviousness.
Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, the first act, in my opinion, is the worst. It's got a lot of... it's setting up a lot of the sexual innuendos and stuff. Setup. But then as you know, Act Two, things get going, things get interesting. They step away from the juvenile humor for the most part,
and it's an adventure.
And it turns into an adventure. It turns into an actual plot. Characters grow, things change. Oh my God! I forgot to mention there's Meatloaf in this.
Yes, they have Meatloaf. Oh, sorry,
camera shake over my camera.
There's Meatloaf in this.
He's a literal Meatloaf, and he's singing "I would do anything for
love, but I won't do that."
Okay,
that's funny. I loved that. And it's
and
it's the song that plays when Frank and Brenda have the breakup. So at least with them, where we're supposed to feel mopey dopey for them, they actually turn it into a fun bit of visual comedy.
There is something funny about it, and I like how it turns into Journey for a second with him traipsing through the snowy mountain, which I don't. Yeah, they're traipsing through the snowy mountains in the middle of a supermarket.
Beyond the dark aisle, beyond the ice.
Yes. And then it's first act's kind of the second act, okay, gets going, and then the third act is fucking
psychotic,
unbelievable. Like, genuinely shocking.
Oh my God, and
even gets to a point of disturbing at times.
It does, but then again, that shows that these guys know how to use dark humor as well.
Yeah,
and honestly, the dark humor bits are the most funny because of how over the top they are.
Yeah.
And you saw it in the trailer, the food getting just mutilated. That is one of the best parts.
I thought that's all they were gonna do, was like all the gore was just going to be like
potatoes getting peeled, the carrots getting eaten, the hot dog being sliced.
From the perspective of the food. Oh no. It isn't.
Okay, so before we get into spoilers,
I'm gonna say I doubt more people are gonna be as critical or as picky about this movie as me.
Well, even I got picky about this. So,
but guys, admittedly, I am a comedy snob, and if this thing I think is worth, if I say this thing's worth it, I think it's gonna be worth it for a lot of people.
Oh God, yeah, and
so it's got definitely its fair share of dumb shit. But it's also, I think it's worth at least a single watch.
Oh, I thought this was great. I'm probably gonna get this on like Blu-ray or DVD when it comes out, cause oh my God, and I'm a Seth Rogen fan, so there was a more definite fact that I was gonna like this, even though I was disappointed with Neighbors, and that actually did linger over my head a little bit before I went into this. But yeah, loved this. It is a good ensemble comedy too, because multiple, like, tons of actors, a lot of characters, but they actually do well with them.
Yeah.
And what other movie can you see this summer where grits, a Twinkie, and firewater spirits and a sausage can smoke weed out of a kazoo? Where can you see that? Tell me. I loved it and highly recommend, but it is a little bit. It's not for the squeamish, if you are.
I mean, overall, I just think it's kind of okay. But I think a lot of people are going to think it's amazing.
Oh, and this isn't amazing. I just loved my time during it.
That's not unjustified. It's not like other adult comedies where it's like I really don't understand why anyone would like them. This one, I definitely see why other people would like this. And there are things I did genuinely love about this, and were really entertaining. But there is also, I think back, there were also times where, oh God, I feel like maybe just a little bit more polished, maybe get someone with a whip in the writing room to just say, okay, fuck, no more, you've used them up, or something. I don't know. Overall, it's worth it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I loved it.
So let's talk. Okay, now we're gonna spoil the amazing climax.
Yes.
So warning: if you don't wanna be spoiled, stop watching. Go watch it. Okay.
Yes.
So what happens is that when Frank himself discovers the truth through
a cookbook.
Yeah, through a cookbook, which I guess counts as fact in this world. Which can I just say one thing? It's a cookbook. It's in the cooking aisle. It's surrounded by a bunch of knives and everything.
It's surrounded by the cutlery.
Yeah. Why aren't they alive in this universe? All the other inanimate objects are alive.
But then again, that they're just food. The only one inanimate object that wasn't food that was alive was the douche.
And the toilet paper.
Shit.
That's right. Shit is right.
Fuck. That's a big hole.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, all right. But so he discovers the truth through a cookbook, and he tries to warn the entire supermarkets, and it's again, it's supposed to ties to real life. People trying to tell you that God doesn't exist, and everyone's like, you don't respect our beliefs. It's like we're gonna trust the more pleasant version of this story and stuff.
But then again, that got into a little bit of the satire of like just in general public. We don't want to believe the bad stuff.
Yeah, I definitely get the satire. I'm just saying it's a little too on the nose. But then Barry comes in. Michael Cera's character comes in through the air vents.
And him and a bunch of other like food products were stuck at the stoner's place.
Yes,
so, before he gets there, we were left off with him being thrown into a pot of boiling water.
Yeah. So he was taken from the store, and he wanted to get back to the market to save Frank. So when he gets picked up by the stoner and he's ready to cook him, he drops him on the floor, and he's like, 5-second rule. He bends down, he knocks over the pot of boiling water
onto his back,
onto his neck. Oh God. And then he
slips.
Then he slips, thanks to Barry. He grabs his shoelace and everything, and he slips. And then he's got a battle axe hanging from the ceiling, and it falls down and cuts his head off.
It decapitates him.
And Barry comes in through the air vent, and he's like, by the way, the gods can be killed. And
he pulls down his fucking head through the vent. What the fuck?
So creepy.
Oh my God. His eyes are still open.
His eyes are still open, and they're like, dilated back. You can see the veins and everything, and he's playing with his lips.
His mouth like a puppet. But that's where
I did not expect the movie to go there.
But that's why I actually respected this a little bit, because it knew that it could take advantage of dark stuff.
Yep. So then they say we have a plan. We're going to save the market because obviously
it's the 4th of July, so everybody's stocking up for barbecues.
Yep. So they dip toothpicks in boiled bath salts and then shoots all the people with them.
How the fuck do they have that much accuracy?
Well, I was gonna say I think you need a lot more to actually affect people than just a toothpick's worth.
That can be debated, maybe. I've never tried it, honestly.
So, all right. So now everyone's fucked up on bath salts.
Everyone's high on bath salts.
Yep. And Frank. Okay, so basically it is the climax of Food Fight to nth degree.
Oh, it's the climax of Food Fight meets fucking what battle, like, from a movie or whatever can this be mixed with?
Almost like Snowpiercer with, like, their hacking people up with axes.
Oh, God.
It's brutal. Let's just say it is. It gets brutal.
Oh, my God.
It's not even just like, people slipping on banana peels
and breaking their necks, maybe. No, okay, one of the stereotypical fat guys, sorry.
It's all right.
But yeah, one of the stereotypical fat guys gets tied down with like licorice ropes or whatever, and a roll of Mentos is dropped into his mouth.
Which is really weird. Can I just say something really weird? He's got a face on the wrapper, and then each individual Mentos is sentient as well. So wait, why wouldn't... That doesn't make any sense. That should mean the plastic bags all the foods are in should be sentient as well. But whatever. So the Mentos basically empties his guts into this guy's mouth, and then the Coke,
the cola, falls perfectly into it, and it's the Diet Coke and Mentos thing. It fills up his mouth, and his entire head explodes.
Oh my god! And you see it. His eyes are bulging, and there is blood, and it.
Yeah, that's only the spark of this ridiculousness.
And it just keeps going. It just keeps going and going. Like the food fight climax, it just keeps going and going. But unlike the other one, you don't want this thing to stop.
You want to see how far they can take it.
You're just like, okay, what's next? And it just keeps going. There's this one weird bit with the fruits where they're coming down.
Bug.
Yeah.
Bug.
What's that? What's that from? The West Side Story?
No. That's performed by Wham, so it was like the 80s.
Oh.
Yeah, they do Jitterbug. Wake Me Up Before You Go. And I forgot how they killed that guy. Shit. Yeah, they kill so many people in this one, ridiculous climax. And the cherry on top is the nerdy, fuck
manager.
Everything manager gets his ass penetrated by the douche who's out to get Frank and Brenda.
Yeah, he grabs a gun to defend himself, and then the douche uses him with the gun to
It's like a puppet. This borrows from Ratatouille.
Yeah, except instead of using his hairs, he uses his scrotum. Oh,
no, he uses his ass.
But didn't he say, it's like, oh, you keep yanking on my scrotum?
No, well, I think that's only because, I don't know, anyway.
Okay, well, alright.
The douche is shoved up his ass, controlling him.
They take, they get a bunch of propane, they get his wheelie cart with the garbage can and everything on it, so to give him somewhat of an ironic death, because they fear this guy because he comes around and takes the expired food and throws them away. So, it's like the death of a lot of villains, but it's just kind of amazing to see this in this movie. The propane gets turned into rockets, and he's launched all across this supermarket, and they make a ramp, and he gets shot up out of the glass ceiling into the sky,
and he
explodes into a parade of fireworks, and yes, there is blood.
Blood rains, and his eyeball is visible.
Eyes. I think one of the foods eats his heart. Oh, but it doesn't end there, because after everything, after one final shot of all the humans being put into the freezer,
and it's all one gigantic mess. Like, shelves are tipped over, like, food is everywhere. Everybody's like, oh my god, thank God we survived through that.
Frank and
Brenda, they fuck,
turn to each other, and they're like, we finally, and of course they use Hungry Eyes, which took them a long time. I knew they were going to use that song. It took them a long time to use it, but they did. So they have hot dog bun sex.
But then the Jewish bagel and the Muslim pita solve their differences. We already knew that happened, but they start having sex.
And then the taco joins in with Brenda,
because she's wanted to eat her out throughout the entire movie.
And then the entire supermarket
has an orgy.
Oh my god!
We're not even selling it short by saying everything. Literally, everything has sex with everything.
The Nazi beer is fucking the juice. Get it? Nazis want to kill the Jews. Juice. But, oh my...
And then all the booze are having sex with, like, onions. The grits are having sex with...
There's one beat that's just... Oh, God. It was disturbing.
It's ridiculous, but it's fucking nuts and amazing.
Oh, my God. I'm gonna throw up.
Barry, the like nub of a sausage, which why are they calling them sausages? They're hot dogs. But yeah, bury the nub sausage.
He finds
true love.
He finds a squished bun because when Brenda goes back to her aisle and gets put into another bag, or she tries to get into another bag, and obviously she squishes one of the buns. And then that's the one that Barry falls in love with. Because in the beginning of this movie, Barry's like...
He's self-conscious. He has low self-esteem.
Yeah, he's like, maybe I'll find some bun that's, like, deformed like me. Even though you're really not that deformed, man. But,
but yeah, he's like, so I like the way... Oh, shut up!
Good God.
Oh,
okay,
my God.
And then after all that, and you're like, okay... We get it.
How could they not get more ridiculous?
Oh, they found a way. They found a way.
Ripping off Stargate.
Well, sort of. I don't know many movies that do this, but so they full on. They're like, we're all fake.
We're a cartoon.
Yeah,
as said by the stereotypical Native American Bill Hader.
Yep,
as the fire watcher.
And I'm like, no, you're not gonna do this, are you? And they're like, I was expecting them to be like, yeah, man, you crazy, and then just go on with their lives. They're like, Nope. He's like, you're voiced by a Jew actor named Seth Rogen.
Wait, what? I'm Jewish?
And then it's like, Bagel's like, what about me? It's like, you're voiced by a much more
talented actor, Edward Norton.
Like, who names themselves Norton?
And Norton has the stereotypical Jewish, like, he's doing a Woody Allen impression.
Yeah, almost.
So yeah, you couldn't recognize him, and we were both saying that was Edward Norton. What?
And so they build a Stargate, and they're gonna go to the real world and cut the ties off with them completely.
After they smoke weed from the kazoo again.
And that's the end of this movie. Holy shit.
And then they play Joy of the World.
Yeah.
Because nothing brings more joy than food murdering people. Although we murder them.
Oh my God.
Oh.
What a movie.
What an experience. But yeah, that stuff is what puts this way over the top.
I think this is where the movie... I think I finally get where people are like, oh my God, this movie's amazing.
It's amazing because of the ridiculous excess and how crazy they're willing to get.
It took a while, but it got there. Holy shit.
Oh God. That last act is the main reason why I cannot stress enough, go see this, but you have to be old enough, because this might scar, like, even junior high kid. Well, then again, I saw Superbad when I was in middle school.
What are you talking about? Kids live for this stuff.
I wouldn't let them see the drug scenes, because that... But then again, having kids rather see violent, bloody, mutilated humans rather than drugs, sort of hypocritical, but that's too touchy of a subject for us.
Yeah. So that's our final thoughts on Sausage Party.
I loved it.
I was almost about to say Food Fight.
It
really is like someone looked at Food Fight and said, you know, this could actually be a decent movie. Somewhat.
This could be a great idea, and luckily they did. And
with a really dark twist.
Oh, the best dark twist. But the animation is actually pretty good. It doesn't need to be the most polished thing ever. But at least it's serviceable. At least the designs are actually pretty fun and creative.
It looked a lot like a commercial, like a commercial.
Oh,
which I'm sure was the point.
No, luckily they didn't do product plugs. This could have been so easy.
Do you really think any company would want to plug themselves in this?
Maybe.
No, not they wouldn't be able to do what they did in this movie if there was product placements.
And yeah, luckily nothing is too distracting at all. And luckily the comedy also uses its advantage because this is actually more fast-paced than you think. Like,
yeah, it's
the camera work is actually pretty good.
It's got a snappy pace to it. I like that. It doesn't linger too much on a lot of jokes. That's good. It's, six a dozen, half of the other. It's good. Wait, I said that wrong. 6 a dozen, half the other. Wow. Sorry. My brain is melting. Bottom line, I think it's worth seeing at least once. I already said that, but
I say get it when it comes out on video. Thank God. Personally, this is the best movie of the summer so far.
Really?
Better than Star Trek, better than The Shallows. So, and yeah, take into account, we haven't seen that many good movies this summer.
That's true.
But
you can hate me if you want, but I still prefer Suicide Squad.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, personally, best movie so far until the next few weeks. For some reason, this summer is a really late bloomer. Most of the best movies are coming out this month instead of the primal summer months like last month in June. And even May. Well, that still doesn't technically count as summer, but fuck it. But yeah, next week we're either going to see War Dogs, the Todd Phillips, I guess it's supposed to be a comedy because it's got Jonah Hill in it, but it also could be interesting otherwise. I actually want to see it because I'm a Hangover fan, not the third one. He likes it.
It's okay.
But also, Kubo comes out next week. And that actually looks really good as like a solid, smart kids movie. So we're sort of on
Possibly. I'm a little skeptic from the trailers.
Why? What's wrong with the trailer?
There's a lot of dumb comedy in there.
It's made for kids.
So then does it have to be dumb? No.
Okay. I see you there.
But we'll find out if we see it.
Yep. Next week it's either Kubo or War Dogs, and the week after that, I'm making you see this. Don't Breathe. That is my highest hope for this summer.
That's gonna be the one review I'm gonna look forward to the most. I mean, we argued last time, but really, they're breaking into this guy's house, they're holding him at gunpoint, and I'm supposed to be scared for their lives? No, you blind guy beat their ass, kick them out, kill them, whatever.
He already kills one of them, and you saw from the trailer that the girl doesn't want this life. The other two don't want...
Why? Why would you go along with it then? You don't decide as you're robbing somebody, I don't want to rob someone.
No. They want out of like their terrible neighborhood. They want a different but they don't have the funds. So
you steal from someone?
They're not going to be able to do it from other shit or whatever. But
well, okay, that really doesn't make me like you more. Oh, I want to steal to do good. No, you want to do good, you don't steal. This isn't. God, I'm sorry. This movie, even the jump scares don't work, and the fear is gone because I'm actually rooting for what's essentially the monster in this case.
I just pray to God that you will see the light and you will like it.
The only thing I can see, maybe them turning it around is maybe he is. They almost make it seem like there are people he's got trapped in his house, like chained up and stuff. From judging by the trailers, maybe then okay, this guy's a freak. You should kill him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just as is, teenagers, guns, steal from a guy, he turns around and is gonna either kill them or beat their ass, kick them out. I don't know.
No, he's going to fucking murder them.
Well, okay. You kind of did that to yourself.
Man, I'm really looking forward to it because it's an amazing idea.
All right. Anything else?
Seth Rogen, do more dark and creative stuff like this. Don't do what you did with Neighbors. And Neighbors 2. That sucked.
Yep. Until next time.
It's hot as shit. I'm sweating.
I gotta go to work.
So do I.
See ya.
Later.